Hi, okay, welcome to session 4. We've got our recap to get us going. You can see there is quite a few questions there. So take your time, look things up if you need to, and then when you're ready, hit play and we'll look at the answers. Okay, so those are your answers. Hopefully we can see those all clearly enough. The blob here matches the blob there. That's just the workings out to explain that one. And this yellow highlighted one down here, I'm going to go through that one because it's slightly different and you may have felt, oh, this one's a bit hard. So I just want to make sure that we've gone through it and you are feeling happy about it. Okay, so just do your marking, hit play when you're ready, and we'll go through that yellow one together. Okay, so everything's kind of combined. We've got all the skills, we've just not seen it in a question like this before. So what are we looking at? We've got 4x plus 31, and then we've got this bracket. Now I need to expand that bracket. The x is trapped inside at this stage, so I'm going to be expanding that bracket so that I can proceed with the next step. So 3 times 3x is 9x, and 3 times 6 is 18. So if you did that for your first step, then you absolutely did the right thing. Now I just need to be thinking about what I'm going to do next. I need to move the x's so they're together, and I need to make sure that I move the smallest set just to avoid any negatives coming in. So the 4x is going over, its landing is minus 4x. That is going to leave me 31 on this side, equaling 5x plus 18. Now, if you're very comfortable with it this way round, you will just hop this side across. I'm going to rewrite because that's what I've been doing, and I know that for some students, it's just easier to see. So 5x plus 18 equals 31. Now, it's really important that when you do that rewrite, I know I've mentioned it, but I've got to keep saying it. You don't do something like this, okay? It's not exactly the same. And if I had a negative instead of a plus, it would really, really cause problems. Okay, so I'm going to take away the 18. And that's going to give me 5x equals 13. I'm then going to divide through by the 5. And that is my x equals. Now, I could leave it as 13 over 5. I could work out how many 5s are in 13 and say 2 with 3 left over. I could have put it in a calculator and I could have got x equals 2.6. So there's various ways that I could leave that. That top heavy feels like we're not allowed as an answer, but actually we can. Obviously, written as a fraction or a decimal is also absolutely fine. Okay, so that was our recap. We are moving on to substitution. Substitution is an area of maths that we looked at in grade 2. Now, if you didn't do the grade 2 course, you will obviously have had some experience in this just through, sort of school and things like that. I'm going to do a quick recap. I don't want to just assume that you know it, but what we're really doing during this course is using the substitution as a tool rather than as a topic itself. So in the grade 2 course, we looked at questions where we were told, let's say, k is equal to 10. And then I asked you to work out what a, k plus 6 was. So that's an example of the type of work we were doing. And that was the basic. We really got into it. We did lots of BIDMAS and we had powers. So we will look at that in a moment as we go through a few of these before moving on. If you can remember, hit that pause and press play after you've tested out whether or not you know this. If you're not sure, just listen. I'll do the first couple and then we'll get you back into it. So the 8 and the k are squashed. Anything squashed in maths means times. So this means 8 times k plus 6. And I can't encourage that enough. Just show what you're looking at, first of all. What am I looking at? I'm looking at 8 times k plus 6. Then you are going to replace the k with the number you've been told it equals. So here I'm going to do 8 times 10, which is 80, plus 6, and I get an answer of 86. And that is substitution. You are substituting the k for the number you've been given. Okay, let's keep k and do something a bit harder. So we're going to do k squared minus 3k. And I want you to press pause, have a go, and press play when you're ready. Okay, so what am I looking at? I'm looking at k squared. K squared means k times k, take away 3 times k. That's what I'm looking at. Like I say, if you want to avoid making mistakes, which is so easy to do in this topic, you need to show what it is the question's asking before you even worry about trying to answer it. Once you've done that, then everywhere there's a k, you can put a 10. Now I've got 10 times 10 is 100. 3 times 10 is 30. Take it away, and I've got 70. Okay, right, let's do some different letters. This time we're going to say C is equal to 10, M is equal to 6, and you are going to work out for me 12C plus 5M. Okay, press play when you're ready. So I'm looking at 12 times C plus 5 times M, 12 times 10 plus 5 times 6. So I've replaced the letters with the numbers I've been told. 12 tens are 120. I've got to add 5 times 6, which is 30. So I've got 150. Okay. Let's do a different question. That one wasn't too tricky. Let's see if I can make it a bit harder. We're going to do x is equal to 3. And I want you to do 4. Oh, I don't know why I'm writing a k when I'm trying to write 4. Let's try that again. We're going to do 4x squared plus 7x plus 5. So there's quite a lot happening. I've been very nice to you though. I haven't put a negative in there. Hit pause, press play when you're ready. Okay, I am looking at 4 times x times x. That's a lot happening there. Plus 7 times x plus 5. Right, let's get the numbers in. I'm doing 4 times 3 times 3 plus 7 times 3 plus 5. Okay, I'm going to do 3 times 3 first, just because it's come from the x squared. It doesn't really matter because of the way I've written it. So 3 times 3 is 9, and 9 fours are 36. I'm going to add 7 times 3, which is 21, and I'm going to add 5. Now, I can either see that because of the way it's represented working for me, or I can stick it in my columns and I can just do it so that I know I don't make a mistake. So I've got 6 plus 1 is 7, plus 5 is 12, carry the 1, 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 1 is 6. So the answer to that one is 62. If you got that right, well done. Because there's a lot of maths there. It's not complicated when you see it as an individual bit to do, but altogether it can be quite tricky, can't it? Okay. Time to introduce the negatives, because you will get this, you won't escape it. So we got 2. I'm not holding back, going straight for it. and I want you to work out 5t minus u. All right, so press play when you're ready. Okay, I'm looking at 5 times t minus u, which means 5 times minus 6 minus u, and u is minus 2. And that is really common not to write that negative down, because you can see a negative there. You think you've already done it, but you haven't. That's, and I'm going to really point this out because it's the most common thing I see. That minus is there, and that minus has come from the minus 2. All right. Okay. There's a lot of negatives, as I say. We've got to take our time. Let's sort out this bit first. The 2 negatives make a positive, don't they? So I've got 5 times minus 6 plus 2. I'm already getting marks, by the way, in a GCSE. So even if I go wrong at this stage, it's not a complete disaster. Okay, let's do the timesing. 5 times 6 is 30. Oops, there we go, didn't want to work then. I've got 1 negative in the question, so I'm going to have 1 in the answer. I've then got to add 2. This is saying to me, you're at minus 30 on the number line. If you're at minus 30 and you add 2, you go up towards the 0, okay? Up towards the 0 for adding. So I would end up at minus 28. If you got that far and then put minus 32, you just went the wrong way on the number line, okay? Right, well done. We are, I'll rewrite that so it hasn't got that blue on it. Minus 2, there we go. Right, try this one for me. T squared plus 5u. All right, hit pause, just have a go, and then play when you're ready. Okay, so I'm looking at t times t plus 5 times u. My t is negative 6, so minus 6 times minus 6 plus 5 times minus 2. Let's do this bit first. Minus 6 times 6. Let's do the numbers first. That's 36. And then the 2 negatives make a positive. So it's positive 36. I've then got 5 times minus 2. 5 times minus 2 is minus 10. If you feel like you haven't used the plus sign yet, technically we have, because we've used positive 5 in our calculation, but it's a bit confusing. So what you could do is just show it, because if you do, all that's happening is that double sign situation, which we'll sort out anyway, a plus and a minus. I have 1 minus in the combination, so I have 1 in my answer. So this ends up saying 36 take 10, which is 26. And if you got that right, well done. Really nice. Okay, so that is substitution. That's the type of thing that we did during grade 2. We are going to extend the skill, if you like. So it doesn't get any harder than that, but we apply it. So you can be given a question that is just about substituting into a formula. You can get a question that asks you to draw a graph. This is the skill, and we're going to see that later. You could be asked to generate a sequence. This is the skill, and that's one of the things that we're going to see today. In fact, it's the main thing that we're going to see today, and then we'll keep the graphs for the next session. Okay, so I am going to ask you to generate the first 4 terms of, and then I'm going to give you lots of different questions, okay? Generate the first 4 terms of. Now, what do we know about sequences so far? We know that a sequence, let's say we've got 4, 7, 10, 13, and on it goes. We know that we can write an nth rule. We can say it's going up in 3s. It's doing it every time, so it's 3n. And if I take off 3, I end up at 1. So I've got 3n plus 1. Okay, let's move that just over there. I don't want to forget about that. So I'm just going to move it over there. We'll resize it so it's not in the way. And what we've just done is said that this rule here comes from this sequence. So let's do it the opposite way around. Let's say I want to generate the first 4 terms of this sequence. Well, we already know that the first 4 terms are those numbers there. But how does it work doing it the opposite way round? It's really simple. It's just putting in the number 1 for the first number and 2 for the second number and so on. So I'll show you what I mean. If I want the first number in the sequence, I am going to put 1 into the rule. So I've got 3 times 1 plus 1. Remember, that is squashed. So there's that times sign. Now, 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. And that's exactly, I'm going to tick it over here, look, that's exactly what I want it to be. If I want the second number, I've got to put a 2 into the sequence. So we're going to do 3 times 2 plus 1. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. And if I check that, that is the second number in the sequence. So my n value is changing to the number within the sequence. So if I wanted number 3, I'll put 3 in. If I want number 10, I'll put 10 in. If I want the 50th number in the sequence, I'll put 50 in. Okay, so let's keep going because we're going to write the first 4. So the third number is going in. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 11. Did I just say that? 3 times 3. Oh, God, I'm going to have to edit this one. All right. Three times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. Happy days. And then I want the fourth one. So we're doing 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. So that is how you generate a sequence. You literally use substitution, putting in the position of the sequence that you want to find. All right, let's have a go now at a question. So let's have a look at this one. Okay, now you've seen this, I've just shown you. All right, the method is not changing. So I want you to just have the confidence to hit that pause, even though you've only seen it once, and press play when you've had a go at it. Okay, so the first number is going in. It's going to be 6 times 1, take 2. So 6 times 1 is 6, take 2 is 4. Now the second one, and we're going to do 6 times 2, which is 12, take 2 is 10. Third one, 6 times 3 is 18, take 2 is 16. And the fourth one, 6 times 4, which is 24, take 2, 22. And then it's a sequence, so we just want to write it in a line. That sequence would go on and on. If we were asked to find the fifth, we'd have to do another one and so on. If you got that right, excellent, well done. If it went wrong, hopefully you're able to see from the workings out what it was. And we are going to try another question, okay? So obviously I'm going to be making each one different, and I'm going to be making it slowly harder as we go on, all right? So this is the next one. We're going to do minus 5n plus 3. Now just really trust in the method. Take the time with the maths that it generates, but just trust yourself, putting that 1 in, putting that 2 in, give it a good go, and then hit play when you're ready. Okay, so the first number is going to be -5 times 1 plus 3. So -5 times 1 is -5. I'm at -5 and I add 3. I'm going to end up at -2. Remember, I've got to go up the number line when I add. So the second number is -5 times 2 plus 3. -5 times 2 is -10. So I'm at -10. And when I add 3, I'm going to end up at -7. Okay, the third one. -5 times 3 is -15. Plus 3 is -12. And the last one, the fourth one, is -5 times 4, which is -20. And that would take me to -17. Like I said, one of the big things that I see more than anything else is just go in the wrong way on the number line. Okay, and if that is something that you are like, yeah, that's me, just try and remember when we add, we head towards 0. Okay, we head towards 0. All right, if that went well, then obviously really, really well done. We'll do another one with the negatives, because it's the type of thing that they're going to do. If they want to make this harder, they're going to chuck negatives at you. So let's just do another one before we do anything different. So we've got -2n and -4. Okay, can't fit any more minuses than that in. Hit pause and press play when you're ready. Okay, so the first number's going in. It's -2 times 1, -4. So -2 times 1 is -2. -4 means go down this time. We're not adding up towards the 0, we're going further away. So -6. Let's put the second number in. -2 times 2, and then -4. So -2 times 2 is -4. -4 minus 4 is -8. Okay, the third number, -2 times 3, -4. So -2 times 3 is -6. -6 minus 4 is -10. Last but not least, we're putting the fourth one in. -2 times 4, and then -4. So -2 times 4 is -8, and -8 minus 4 is equal to -12. Okay. Hopefully that is going well. Some of you may have noticed that actually there's a pattern appearing here, just like the pattern we see when we're trying to write the rule. So you can almost do the first couple, and then you can start seeing the pattern and filling it in. And if you've been doing it like that, you will still get full marks. There's nothing wrong with it. The reason that I haven't made a big deal out of that, I haven't said, look at this shortcut, use this, is because you might not get a question where it works. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to give you a question where that type of approach wouldn't work. And if that's what you were thinking on the day, you could end up going wrong. So let's give you this question so you can see what I'm talking about. I want you to generate the first 4 terms of n squared plus 3n minus 1. That's a big rule. So that's a lot of maths. But it's doable, just taking your time. So I want you to have a go and hit play when you're ready. Okay, the first number is going in. I have got n squared. That means n times n. Do you know what? It would actually be really sensible, wouldn't it, to show what we're looking at here, so we really can see everything we've got to do, because there's so much there. So I've got 1 going in, 1 is going in everywhere I see in n. So we've got 1 times 1 plus 3 times 1 minus 1. Okay, 1 times 1 is 1. I'm trying to decide whether to write this down as I go. I think I am, because otherwise I'm expecting my brain to hold on to way too much information. Okay, so I've done this bit. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 1 is 3, and I'm adding those, and then I'm going to take away that 1. So 1 plus 3 is 4. Take 1 is 3. Now I'm going to put the second one in. So we've got 2 times 2 plus 3 times 2 minus 1. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6, and I'm going to add those. 4 plus 6 is 10. Take off the 1, and I've got 9. Okay, so far I've got 3 and 9. I'm going to do the next one. So let's go up. The third number is 3 times 3 plus 3 times 3 minus 1. So I've got 9 plus 9, which is 18. Take away 1, and I've got 17. So I've got 17. And last but not least, we want to put the fourth one in. Let's get some space here. So I have got 4 times 4 plus 3 times 4, take 1. So that's 16 plus 12, which is 28. Take away 1 is 27. That's the sequence. Okay. So it's a lot more work. Absolutely it is. Taking your time. All right. And hopefully it goes okay. Okay. Might be nice to practice another one like that, because they are tricky, and it's always nice to have more than one go at these things. I'm going to stick a negative in. I'm not going to make it exactly the same, so I'm going to do that and see whether or not that makes it a bit trickier. It shouldn't. Trust and take your time, okay? That's really the best advice I can give you. Off you go, hit play when you're ready. Okay, first one. I'm going to write out n times n minus 2 times n plus 4. 1 is going in, so 1 times 1, take 2 times 1 plus 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. I'm going to take that away. And I've got add 4. 1 take 2 is minus 1, and minus 1 plus 4 is 3. I'm going to put the second one in. 2 times 2 minus 2 times 2 plus 4. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. If I take those away, I've got nothing. 4 take 4 is 0. Add the 4 here, and I've got 4 coming out. Put the third one in. 3 times 3 minus 2 times 3 plus 4. 9 minus 2 times 3 is 6. 9 take 6 is 3, and 3 plus 4 is 7. And then we'll put the fourth one in. Let's get that up a little bit. Oh, I've still got the working out on that one. Let's get rid of that so it doesn't confuse us. There we go. So the fourth one's going in. 4 times 4, take 2 times 4 plus 4. Whew, lot of 4s. Okay. 4 times 4 is 16. 2 times 4 is 8. So 16 take 8 is 8 plus 4, and you've got 12. So the sequence is 3, 4, 7, 12. Must try and remember to do that. All right, well done if that went well. Excellent stuff. Obviously, you've only got to get one little bit, haven't you, wrong, and it just throws it out. Just remember, these do come with some marks for method. So even if your sequence at the end isn't perfect, if you've got parts of your working out correct, you know you're picking up marks, which is always good. Okay, now this next question is a little bit unusual. It's unlikely, I think, to be something that you see on your foundation paper, but you just never know what's going to come up. And actually what I want to show you is, even if it's a question that feels really unfamiliar, if you trust in your knowledge and in the method, you should be able to answer the question. That's the idea. Okay, so 4 times 2n. That's the one I want you to have a go at. Hit play when you're ready. Okay. N is going to be 1 to help me generate the first term. 4 times 2 to the power of 1 is 4 times 2, which is 8. When the second number goes in, I've got 4 times 2, and it's the n that changes. 2 times 2 is 4, so I've got 4 times 4, which is equal to 16. Now the third one's going in. I've got 4 times 2 to the power of 3. 2 to the power of 3 means 2 times 2 times 2, remember. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So what I've actually got is 4 times 8. 4 times 8 is 32. And the last one is the fourth one going in, which is 4 times 2 to the 4. So that's going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. And 4 times 16 is 64. So my sequence is 8, 16, 32, and 64. So even though that one looked completely unfamiliar, and it is something that's unlikely to be in the exam, yes, but it's not impossible. And you can see it really isn't any different. It's more about confidence than it is about anything else. All right, we're going to leave it there for examples. I think you've had lots and lots of examples and lots of practice now with your substitution. So what you are going to do is have a go at these questions. So you've got a little bit of substituting to practice to start off with. Like I say, I don't want to just assume that you've got this. It's the type of thing that you could be asked. So it's a perfectly legitimate exam style question, but so is writing the first few terms. I've obviously picked 5 terms here to give you lots of practice. We've got a bit of variety going on there. Okay. If you need a calculator just to check through anything, or if it's all getting a little bit tricky, use it. Please use it. This is about knowing how to get to those answers. It's not necessarily about knowing how to do absolutely everything by hand. All right. So I will scroll the answers up. So you can obviously go backwards and forwards, ticking and marking as you go. And I will see you next session. Okay, so well done today.